Welcome students. In the previous lecture, we have learned about the front view and top view of this particular object in first angle of projection. So today we will draw those views on our grid sheet. So let us start with the solution. I have drawn front and top with the thin lines in order to save the time of this video. When I will explain the steps to you, there will be no need for me to actually measure the dimensions. So that will help me to save the time. Now in the lecture we discussed that if we have to draw the front view of this object, we need to represent four faces in the front view as visible faces: this curved face, this curved face, this parallel face, and this inclined face. Then we have to show this tiny face as hidden face, and then we have to show these two holes in the front view. And if we will see the total length of the object, total length will be equal to 100 plus half of 42 and half of 64. That means 21 plus 100 plus 32. So it will be 153. So what we will do first, we will draw a reference line. Over here the length of the object is 153 millimeters. So we will draw a reference line around 20 centimeters. We will label it as capital X, capital Y. Space above we will write vertical plane. Space below the reference line we will mention as horizontal plane in Gothic style. Then from the reference line we will leave around one row gap, that means minimum 10 millimeters gap, and we will first construct a line of 153 millimeters, which is the total length of the object. So we'll measure it carefully from the scale and we'll draw it continuous thick line. So this is a line of 153 millimeters. Then from this end we will draw the height equal to 24 millimeters. So we will align our scale carefully and we will draw a line of 24 millimeters. Then after that we will sketch height at the other end as 36. So from this end we will sketch a height of 36 millimeters. So measure carefully from the scale. Now we know that diameter of this particular hole is 64 millimeters. So from this particular point we will sketch a horizontal line of 64 millimeters. Then after that we will sketch the diameter of this cylinder, which is 42 millimeters over here. Then we will join these 2 points. So we have created the boundary of face number 1, face number 2, face number 3, and this face number 4. Now after that we will draw these faces carefully. Now we know this is a hollow cylinder. So let us first locate its center line. Total length of this cylinder is how much? It is 42. So at 21 millimeters we will sketch center line. So mark a point at 21 millimeters. Then somewhere over here again mark a point at 21 millimeters. Then align those 2 points carefully to sketch its center line. Similarly, we will sketch center line of other cylinder. So this is 64. Then mark a point at 32 millimeters. So from this end, mark a point at 32 millimeters. Then repeat same at the bottom. Mark a point at 32 millimeters. Then align your scale with those 2 points and sketch a center line. Okay, after this what we will do, we will sketch this particular face. The height of this face is 12, and we have concluded in the previous lecture that this face starts from the center line of first cylinder and it goes to the center line of second cylinder. So what we will do, from this center line from the bottom, we will measure 12 millimeters and will mark a point here. Then from this side as well, we will measure 12 millimeters from bottom and we will mark a point. Then we will connect those 2 points and we will sketch a thick horizontal line from the center line of first cylinder to the center line of second cylinder. Then after that we will sketch this edge of this cylinder. So for that, what we have to do, from this point draw a vertical line up to that horizontal line. Similarly sketch this edge of this cylinder. So from this point draw a vertical line of thick vertical line up to this particular face. So you can see we are ready with these 4 faces. Now let us represent these holes. Dia of this hole is 24. So from center line, what we will do, we will measure 12 on both sides. So from center line mark 12, then from center line mark 12 this side. Same you should repeat at the top. From center line mark 12, then from center line mark 12 on other side as well. Then align your scale with respect to those points carefully and sketch a dash medium line. We know in this case length of dash is 3 millimeters and gap between the 2 dashes is 1.5. Now similarly on the other side, sketch a dash medium line. So we are ready with the hole on this side of this object. Let us draw the second hole of dia 36. So for that, what we will do, from center line measure 18 millimeters. So 18 will be here. Then from same center line measure 18 this side. Then mark same distance at the bottom also. Then it will be easy for us to locate the vertical lines. Now we will line our scale with these 2 points in vertical position and we will sketch dash medium lines. Similarly on other side as well. So we are ready with hole on this side also. So in fact we are ready with the front view. After that, what we will do, we will take projections from all the points of the front view in downward direction. Take projection from center line also. So draw these projections carefully. These projections must be parallel to each other, continuous thin lines and perpendicular to plane of projection. Okay, so after this, what we will do, we will draw its top view, and we know in the top view we have to represent this circular face over here, and this shape we have to create. Then we have to represent these 3 faces also, and we forgot this face in the front also. So let us represent this face in the front first. Its length is 4 millimeters. So from this hidden line we will sketch another hidden line at 4 millimeters. So from this hidden line measure 4, mark a point. And at the bottom also measure 4 millimeters, mark a point. Then align those 2 points carefully and sketch another hidden line. Now the front view is ready. This face we forgot to represent. Now we have represented. Now from that face also take projection in downward direction, continuous thin line. Now let us draw this circular face first. It means for that we need center, and from center we have to draw 2 circles. The dia of smaller circle is 24 and bigger circle is 42. Now we have already taken projections from the center line. So what we should do? We should draw horizontal center line first in the top view because object is symmetric about horizontal center line. Now you see dia of this cylinder, or the width of this object is 64. Then half of this width will be 32 plus for 10 mm allowance, means from reference line minimum 42 mm we need. Then we should draw the center line. Okay, so I have left around 50 millimeters. Then I will draw the center line. So let me sketch center line first, horizontal center line. Why we are drawing this? Because object is symmetric about horizontal center line. If we will draw this center line, then it will be easy for us to draw various features of the top view that we will see shortly. So draw this chain thin line carefully. So we have drawn the center line. Now after that, what we will do? We will sketch this circular face. So for that, what we need to do? We need to open compass first equal to 21 millimeters radius, because we want to construct the outer circle whose radius is 42. So open compass to 21 millimeters carefully and place your compass at this center, because from this center line we have already taken projection. So where this projection and center line are intersecting, that is the center. So place your compass at that center and sketch a circle of 21 millimeters radius, and diameter will be 42. You can repeat the circle 1 or 2 times so that it should be thick. So we are ready with the first diameter. Now we have to draw the second diameter. It is how much? 24. So radius will be 12. So measure 12 mm carefully from the scale. Place at same center. Then sketch the second circle whose diameter is 24. So we have opened radius equal to 12. So this is the second circle. Now let us draw other 2 circles also, and from this center line as well we have taken projector. So it is intersecting this horizontal center line at this point. So this is the center. This is center and radius equal to 32. Draw the first circle. Open compass equal to 32. So place compass at this center and draw first circle carefully. Let us repeat it for 1 or 2 times so that circle should be thick. After that, we will draw second circle. The radius of that is 18 because diameter is 36. So open compass to 18 now. So same center and draw the next circle. So we are ready with these 2 circular faces. After that, we will create this shape. How to create that shape? We will erase the circle from here, and from this point where this projector is intersecting with this horizontal center line, from that point measure 4 millimeters on both sides on that projector. So 4 this side, 4 other side. Why? Because its width is 8 millimeters. So from that point draw a horizontal line carefully up to next projector, and from here as well. Then we will join these 2 points. You can see we are ready with that shape. After that, we will construct this inclined face. Its width is 12. So across the center line we will measure 6 millimeters. 6 this side, 6 other side. Similarly, at this point, measure 6 on both sides, 6 this side and 6 other side. Then we will connect these 2 points carefully with the help of thick horizontal line. So in this way, we will be able to represent that face. So after that, what we need to do, we need to draw these two faces. For that, we have to align our scale as a tangent to both the circles. See, scale is tangent to both the circles. Now we will sketch that line here. Similarly, on other side also, line your scale tangent to both the circles and then sketch that line. So we are ready with the top view also. Now it's time to place dimensions. So before that, we should erase the projectors which are outside the view. And then we should erase the projectors which are within the top view. Then after that, we should construct the center line of these two circles also again. So line your scale here. Draw the center line carefully now. Chain thin. Same center line we will draw here. I am drawing center lines thick in this video so that it should be visible to you. But you have to draw these thin. Now we have drawn both the center lines. Now let us place the dimensions. Start with the length dimension. How much is the length? Length is 153. So from here, leave 1 meter gap, continuous thin line. Then from this end, leave 1 meter gap, continuous thin line. And on this row, we will draw a dimension line. So let us quickly represent this dimension by drawing closed filled arrowheads on both sides. So it is 153. Somewhere in the mid in Gothic style, we will write 153. After that, we should draw the diameters for these two circles. So place your scale at this end. Leave 1 meter gap, continuous thin line. So from this diameter as well, leave 1 meter gap and continuous thin line. Then place your scale over here. You can see gap is 10 millimeters. Close filled arrows on both sides. So this is 542. So in Gothic style, we will mention 42. Similarly over here, draw a dimension line. You see gap from object line and this dimension line 10. Then next is again 10. Fine. Over here it will be more because this is inclined face. So we will mention 5. How much? 64. 564 in Gothic style. Now let us place width dimensions. So this width we can place. It is how much? It is 12 millimeters. So line your scale somewhere in the mid. Draw a continuous thin line like this. Continuous thin line. Then add closed filled arrowheads on both sides of these two object lines. Then at this end, add a continuous thin tail. On the top of it, we will write 12. Then after that, we can place the height dimensions. So over here, leave 1 meter gap, continuous thin line. Then over here, 1 meter gap, continuous thin line. Then a dimension line, continuous thin. Then add closed filled arrowheads at top and the bottom in 3:1. Then we'll mention its height as 36 in Gothic style. So after this, what we will do, we will place this height dimension. It is how much? It is 24. Leave 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line, 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line, then approximately leave 10 millimeter gap, dimension line, then add closed fill errors on both sides in 3:1 carefully. Then over here we will mention 24. Then we have to place this height also. So for that, what we can do, we can place here vertical line, add a tail here, and add closed fill errors on both sides of object lines. Over here we can write that this is 12 in Gothic style. Then after that, we have to place these internal diameters also. Over here we don't have space, we can place at the top 1 mm gap, continuous thin line, 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line. So leave around 10 millimeters gap, continuous thin line, that is dimension line. Add closed fill errors on both sides. So we'll write phi, how much? 24. Then similarly over here, 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line. From here 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line, leave around 10 millimeters gap, horizontal dimension line. Then over here we will place how much? It is phi 36 in Gothic style. So after that, we should place this length that we can place here. How much is this? It is 4. You can see gap is very small. So for that, what we can do, draw extension line, dimension line, sorry. Use one end of this arrowhead and second will be over here. So this will be in line. And over here we will show how much? 4. But this width left. So let us place this width here. 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line. Then over here 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line. Then we will add that width dimension over here. And we will say it is how much? It is 8. So we are ready with the solution. We have placed all the dimensions. Thank you very much.